The Woodford Humane Society in Versailles, Kentucky, has been caring for homeless animals since 1975. It places about 400 dogs and 450 cats every year, yet it receives no government funding. It has to raise all of its own money, and that's why its fundraising events are so important. Susan Adams is a longtime board member and volunteer. 12 years ago, she had an idea.
I became involved in 1999 when I went to a board meeting and told them I had an idea for a fundraiser, and the board took a chance on me and let me put on the Freedom Fest.
Anestis Farm, owned by George and Lori Hall, is a gorgeous 385-acre horse farm just outside Versailles. It was here that Freedom Fest was held in 2010 and 2011. Since Susan Adams came up with the idea, Freedom Fest has become the Humane Society's most important fundraising event. Its success depends on volunteers. More than 100 helped this year. Before the event, they unload vehicles, set up tables, and even decorate posters. This year presented an extra challenge. It was very hot in the mid-90s with high humidity. Sue Van Patten has been volunteering for several years. She enjoys meeting others who help at Humane Society events.
Wonderful people that do volunteer. Every time we go to an event, we've got somebody new on our committee or just coming out for an hour or for a couple days to help us. Whatever it is, it's always a great help, and it's nice to meet new people.
The first day of Freedom Fest is known as Bon Appetit Day. It begins with a catered breakfast where guests have a chance to visit with other supporters. The Bon Appetit breakfast always includes special programs. This year, Jennifer Schack, the chief meteorologist for Channel 36 in Lexington, was the MC for a fashion show featuring dogs that were available for adoption. The dogs are not used to modeling, so they required extra preparation outside the tent. One of them, Airdrie, was thinking about more than the fashion show, while Daphne was getting ready for her walk down the runway.
Daphne is super sweet and loving and sometimes a little sassy. She has never met a stranger and loves to give kisses. She is good with people of all ages and is looking for her next best friend. Could that be you? Daphne's up for adoption today.
The highlight of the breakfast was the fashion show by Mark Badgley and James Mishka. They are internationally known designers. Models from a Lexington agency showed off some of their new creations. Mark and James said they have noticed in recent years that more people seem to be adopting animals from shelters.
There are more animals than ever to rescue these days. So I think it's really important that there are so many people, especially in Kentucky, that are willing to step forward and support the organization and adopt the animals. I think it's just really important because there is such a need for it.
I've seen a huge change over the last 5 years. I would say that every other person I talked to about it, having a new pet has rescued, whereas I can remember it was unheard of before that.
Also on Bon Appetit Day is a lunch with restaurants and caterers throughout central Kentucky, providing a variety of appetizers, entrees, drinks, and desserts. There's also a silent auction, and people could take tours of the horse farm. Freedom Fest had two co-chairs in 2011, Debbie Gravis and Susan Adams. But overseeing everything at the Humane Society is Diane Baker. She has been executive director since 2003 and thinks Freedom Fest is very special.
Well, this is a very unique event for one thing. It's comfortable, it's casual, people have a great time, they know it's for a good cause, they have great hearts. I can't believe what some of the designers do in these stalls and what they make possible.
One of the most interesting things about Freedom Fest are the stalls that 20 designers set up in the horse barn. It requires a lot of preparation to get everything together, but the results are often amazing. Visitors tour the stalls until Saturday night, when people who have purchased a stall for the evening eat dinner there. Kim Moody has been decorating stalls at Freedom Fest for several years. She meets a lot of people at the event.
They usually pick out like an element of the room that they just really truly love. Like this year, it's the tub on the wall and things. Or they say, wow, I can't believe that this horse stall looks like this, or you can do this with that and things. So they're really impressed by the things that people do.
The dinner is held on Saturday, the second day of Freedom Fest. Several hundred people go through a buffet line and then eat either under the tent or in one of the designer stalls. The mood is always festive. People know they are contributing to a great cause, and the dinner gives them a chance to catch up with friends. Volunteers are hard at work during the dinner, serving drinks and doing many other things to make sure guests have what they need. There is also a silent and live auction in the evening to raise additional funds, and this year the band Exile performed under the tent. Sandra and Greg Prince live in Lexington. They were attending their first Freedom Fest and explained why they decided to come.
I've heard a lot of really good things about Freedom Fest, so I had to check it out.
Yeah, it's a beautiful location. You know, the horse farm is really nice, and all the stalls, all the decorating is really cool. It's really just a great event.
The 2011 Freedom Fest was a success. It raised about $150,000, or about 30% of the $500,000 the Humane Society needs every year to take care of so many dogs and cats. Including food, spaying and neutering, vet bills, and other expenses, each animal costs at least several $100s to care for. Unlike at some shelters, the animals at WHS can stay as long as they need to find a home. That means a few of them have been there several years. Joel Thomas is a retired teacher and a volunteer. He probably spoke for many people when he talked about what it was like for him to visit the Humane Society.
Just melts your heart to see all the animals there, all of the cats and dogs, and makes you want to take them all home.
After all the hard work and the inevitable problems that have to be solved, Susan Adams was pleased with how things turned out.
Just there are really a million different details to work on, and we need to make sure that everybody is on the same page and working with it and keeping everything going. And it does. It works well, comes together, everybody has a good time.